Hello, friends. How are you? Hope you are well. This is Shelley, your host with Bowl and Spoon. As I mentioned, we are getting ready to head out to Canada, and I am really glad we're taking this trip. I've been feeling kind of stagnant, and I need something to shake me out of it. Just even preparing for this trip has been getting me out of my routine. I feel like I've been kind of like in pre-retirement, or maybe, let's say, practice retirement. It's tough in the summer not going into an office, especially on hot days. We don't have air conditioning at home, so it's pretty tricky. Actually, now that I say that, it hasn't been that bad. I mean, some days the air is really thick, but if we open the windows at night and let it cool down and then close them when it starts to get hot, we could keep the temperature in the house around 70 degrees, and it's less humid than outside. So we've thought about going to the cinema a few times and just to take advantage of the air conditioning. But we haven't really had to. We end up having lunch, a late lunch, like in our living room, and watching movies at home. The living room is the coolest room in the house about that time of day, so it's worked well so far. We've only been to the movies once, and that was to see Deadpool. And that was only because we wanted to see it before it left the theater. But there's a lot on Netflix, and we also have BritBox, so we haven't run out of things yet. Some notable things that we've watched was there was a movie called Wicked Little Lies, which is actually both on BritBox and Netflix. That doesn't happen very often. That's a lot of fun. And then there's a show called Cleo on Netflix, which we watched dubbed in English. I think it's a German show, but we watched it dubbed in English with English subtitles. And sometimes it was like having two different scripts. It was really weird. But that's been getting us through the hot summer days. But lately it's been kind of cool, and that's really been throwing us off. It's just such a trip because we're like, oh shit, did we miss summer? Is it going to be cold in Canada? Is it winter up there yet? We'll have to see, but I don't know. The forecast says it's going to be nice again, so we'll see. So this week's interview was a lot of fun. I met Darren from a Cup of Wontons last fall on a really chilly day at the Squirrel Hill Farmers Market. And a cup of wontons was exactly what I needed. Darren and his friends make a really great product, and they seem to really have fun doing it. So I hope you enjoy our talk, and then head over to the Squirrel Hill Market on Sundays now through Thanksgiving and get yourself some wontons. All right, enjoy. Hi everybody, welcome to With Bowl and Spoon. I'm here with a dumpling master. No, you're not. It's a master. A wonton.
Wonton enthusiast.
Enthusiast. Darren, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and your company and tell us what you do.
Yeah, hi. My name is Darren Cheng. I'm one of the co-owners of Cup of Wontons. And so we're a small business. There's three of us. We are really primarily focused on just bringing wontons to the farmer's market, give like a nice savory breakfast option.
And it is an amazing savory breakfast option. I remember that we ran into you at the farmer's market in the fall last year.
Yeah,
and it was just what I needed. It was great.
Yeah. No, so we're pretty excited. We're doing the Squirrel Hill Farmers Market again this year, starting September 1st. So,
excellent.
Yeah, could be exciting.
So, how did you get into this business? What made you think, I know, everyone needs wontons. Let's bring them wontons.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. So, me and one of the friends that we were doing it with last year, James, we were kind of just talking after winter break. Hey, it would be fun if we sold wontons at the farmer's market. And he was like, I had that same exact thought over winter break. And I was like, well, we should do it. And we kind of just looked into it slowly. And I think we had just managed to get in the application before one of the deadlines for the Squirrel Hill Farmers Markets. And then I think it was easier for us to slot in since we're a later in the season thing anyways.
Yeah.
Colder season. So I think we took over after a sweet corn vendor. And So yeah,
that makes
rest is
sense.
history.
It's
Yeah,
limited time there.
right.
So the fact that you both had the idea to sell wontons at the farmers market, do you guys like go out to eat a lot? Did you make wontons a lot? Was that part of what you did as a friend group?
So I would say as a friend group, we definitely go out to eat a lot. Like we like to go out, try new places, get some good food. And then I think how it came, like probably where the wonton thing came from was growing up, I always had, well, not always, but often had wontons in the morning. It was like, I had good memories of waking up, making the wontons with my family, and then just like sitting down and eating. So, yeah.
So, tell me about your family.
So, I grew up outside New York City, about 50 minutes north by train. Yep, my parents immigrated here from China, and
Are you in ABC?
Yep, ABC. Yeah, I guess I grew up here. My grandparents would come over sometimes to help take care of me and my younger sister. And yeah, I mean, I guess kind of had the typical immigrant child experience. So.
And you made your own wontons every morning with your family?
Oh, definitely not every morning, but it was like a weekend activity. Yeah. Like every now and then on the weekends, if like we didn't have Chinese school or something like that, like we would sit down and make some wontons. I just remember I always enjoyed them more than dumplings for some reason, but like I enjoyed, stuffing the wrappers and then doing the fold and seeing it like come in the soup. So yeah.
That's cool.
And then, of course, you drank it with soy sauce because you're a kid and you love the salt.
That's so good. So you were saying your sister, when the car accident happened.
Yeah.
You were saying your sister's getting her PhD.
She's about to start her PhD up at MIT, actually. So she's a smart cookie.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And what's she getting that degree?
She's going to do biology.
Cool.
Yeah.
And how about you?
So I'm at Carnegie Mellon right now. I'm studying atmospheric science. I guess I am also getting a PhD, so I think it probably runs in the family.
It's curious why you wanted to talk about your sister's PhD.
I guess I'm just, I don't know. Maybe I'm modest.
So that's fascinating. The environmental, or the atmospheric science?
Yes.
Is it atmospheric science? Okay, that's cool. That's a whole other podcast, I think. But so back to the dumplings. Your family made dumplings when you were a kid, and so you made dumplings with your friends, or did you just go eat dumplings with your friends?
I think so. Now that I think about it, I don't know if we actually made wontons together before all of this happened, or even like ate wontons together. Because usually, for me, when I go out to a Chinese restaurant, I'm not usually getting the wontons. But I think like ever since, every time I see some place that sells wontons, I'll get some wontons, see the competition.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
You gotta scope them out. So your friend comes back from Christmas break.
Yeah.
And you guys are like, we had this epiphany that we must make wontons. And then you applied to the farmer's market.
Yep.
And then, so that's like almost a year later. Like I would say 9 months later.
Yeah, about 9 months, yeah.
And so did you do a bunch of samplings, or like how did you vet your product? How did you come up with, because you have a very limited menu.
Right.
It's wontons.
Right.
And it's either 5 wontons or 10 wontons in stock.
Yep.
Broth. Stock broth.
Yeah.
Did you make the stock yourself?
No.
Okay. And then you put like chili crisp on it. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you do. So how did you come down to that brief menu?
So I think it's, so we also do we have the pork wontons in a rotating, weekly flavor. And so we came down to that because that's, at least the pork, it's that's kind of just how it's traditionally served. And it's just at its simplest, that is in my mind, what wontons are. And so I think just getting started for our first season, it kind of made sense to us. Hey, we'll just stick with this. If it works, that's great. If it doesn't work, we learned our lesson. But yeah, no,
Did you have friends taste it? Did you have events where people would come over and
Yeah, we had
try out different recipes, or did you like make it and you're like, that's it?
So yeah, like I think before we made it, like when we were preparing for it, we kind of just get together, get some like ground pork and different ingredients that we need for it, and kind of just like start mixing it in different ratios. And that's also what we did for the weekly specials. So every week on Wednesday night, we'd get together, do a wonton test kitchen, as we called it. So we just get, like someone would come up with an idea. So I think we had a turkey lime chili, and so get the stuff for that and just like start mixing it, try adding different spices and whatnot, and kind of just do that till we run out, until we're happy with it, or we run out of meat. So or we're full. So yeah.
So there are a lot of ingredients in wontons, in dumplings, generally speaking, and wonton is considered a dumpling of sort, right? So, but there's such a tiny amount in each, and it's such a production to do. So I'm grateful to you for making them and making them fresh and delicious. But it does make me crazy that it's just so much work for this little tiny thing and like one bite of stuff. They're amazing. I don't know where I'm going with that. It wasn't a question there.
I know what you mean,
and I'm so grateful that you do that.
Yeah, I think it's like the perfect combination of like the dough to filling ratio. Yeah, that's what I really like about it.
Yeah, and you seem to have that down pretty well. I can't wait to try. Have you been making dumplings over this break that you've had between markets? Yeah,
so we have a couple new weekly specials that we came up with. So we have one that I'm really excited about is we have a hot pot wonton. And so it tastes exactly like, have you had hot pot?
Yeah.
It's like, it tastes really close to that like spicy red hot pot broth. And so that we're really excited about. And then we also have, we're doing wontons in sauce now. So instead of the wontons in the soup base, we'll do wontons and then pour some sauce over it. So we were actually working on that the other night. We have a couple. We'll probably start off with like maybe a wonton in chili oil, that kind of deal. And then we also have we're working on a chimichurri sauce. And so it was delicious. Like the combination of the olive oil and the red vine vinegar with the parsley on the wonton, I think all the flavors, like they kind of add together synergistically. People
forget about parsley.
Yeah.
Parsley is a really important herb, and you can kill parsley very easily.
Yeah. It's not just there for garnish.
Yeah. It's a delicious herb. Well, I'm excited about your new menu. So, growing up, besides the wontons, making the wontons with your family, I imagine that was kind of like a like American kids make pancakes.
I guess, yeah.
But I like the spin of wontons. So, besides that, did you cook a lot when you were a kid? When you growing up?
I guess growing up, honestly, I didn't cook too much because my parents wanted me to focus on school, and so I was lucky. They usually cooked, and my mom, in I think the like typical Chinese sense, it was always like every night for dinner you'd have some sort of like soup, and then a meat dish and like a mostly vegetables focused stir fry. So, and then of course white rice.
Of course.
Yeah, big bowl of rice. Yeah.
But you didn't ever cook?
Honestly, not too much. Yeah. I think I learned a couple things, but it wasn't my daily chore to cook.
So your first thing you're cooking now out in the real world is to make wontons for the public.
So actually, no.
I think I'll take up cooking.
Yeah. No, so actually, when I got to college, my freshman year, I took a job at this. It was like a late night food. It was a late night dining option that ran out of the dining hall.
Here at CMU?
No, so I went to University of Michigan, and so it was a student. It was a funny arrangement. We ran out of the dining hall, but it was all student run, and every shift it was like 6 people, and so we would do pretty much everything from Like, there was a cashier, there was someone on the grill doing burgers, chicken sandwiches, had someone on the fryer, had someone doing pizzas, and then had someone doing quesadillas. So I did that for a year, and I also like
limited student menu.
Yeah, limited student menu.
Nice.
So familiar, yeah. And then I also did some like prep work for them, cutting the onions, peppers, cooking chicken, whatnot. And then later on, I also worked as a busboy in a restaurant for a summer. And so I think I found that I really loved the service industry and getting to interact with people. And I think it's pretty different from what I do now with the PhD. Like, I'm just in my lab every day. I see the same couple people, and it's just like very, very focused on a very specific question, like a very specific area. And it's really nice to be able to have a change of pace, go out and actually like make good food, interact with people, make people happy. So yeah,
that's great. So you grew up in the suburbs of New York City. And did you travel into the city very often? Did you like go in there and have big meals and stuff?
So not too many big meals, but me and my best friend growing up, I think starting in middle school, we'd often just like take the train into the city, go walk around, and then eat at Shake Shack. And that was our pilgrimage. And this was back when as Shake Shack was only in New York, there were 5 locations. And it was just like something special that we did. So, I mean, of course we'd go in, do other things, like see the museums and whatnot, but that one is the memory that really sticks out in my head.
Just, being a kid and being in a big city like that, and being like, whoa, this is the world. It's so cool.
Right,
yeah. And then the Shake Shack.
And then the Shake Shack,
have this there. Excellent. Cool. So you mentioned you spent some time in Oregon.
Yes, yeah. So after I finished undergrad, I went out there to work for a couple of years.
And what was your undergrad in?
So I did mechanical engineering undergrad. And then after that, I went out to work for HP on the inkjet printer cartridges. Yeah.
And we all know how complicated those things are and how frustrating they are, expensive they are. We won't blame you for any of that.
Yeah, that was not my department. I was just in manufacturing.
So, what was Oregon like?
Oregon was nice. It was definitely a change of pace from, growing up outside New York, and then Ann Arbor is like such a quintessential college town. You feel like there's always something going on. Oregon, I was out in Corvallis. I think it's a lovely city. It's where Oregon State University is, so you do have a college presence. You do have a lot of bars for the size of town it is. I mean, I think it's 50,000 people, but there's like at least like 5 breweries out there, a cider place, a couple distilleries, and then it's like in the center of wine country. And so that was really fun. You just go out on the weekends, you can go wine tasting for $10.
Oh wow.
Which I didn't realize was pretty affordable. Like, because I went to Napa last summer, and I was like, oh, maybe we should do wine tasting, and everything there was like 50 to 100 at least. And so I think that was a real treat, and going out tasting wines and like really getting into, it has this like essence of cherry and strawberry, and it was fun.
So you can actually get the experience of learning wine
right
on the ground.
Yeah.
That's great.
It was all like pretty small places, so often you could talk to like the winemakers there or the owners, and that was a lot of fun.
That is.
Yeah, I think it really solidified my interest in food and drink. So
what was the food like in Oregon?
I think there were places that were pretty good. I think the Mexican food out there is pretty nice, and then a lot of the pub grub I think is done pretty well. Just how everyone's also really focused on making good craft beer. Everyone's also really cares about the quality of the food that they put out as well.
So you mentioned we came to sit outside and it was drizzling a little bit, and you're like, oh, I lived in Oregon, it's fine. So you didn't think about making wontons in a broth in Oregon? I mean, that's like a cozy food. Maybe Oregon needs you.
Maybe, yeah. I think, so at the time for work, I traveled a lot. So I was never like really, I could never really commit to being around for like, 3 months contiguously. But actually in Oregon, I would, invite friends over and we'd make wontons together. So actually, yeah, with my friends there, we did make wontons. So
that's cool.
Yeah, those nights were always a lot of fun.
So in practical terms for your business here, when you're doing a market, like, okay, sorry, I'm going to back up a minute. How did you think to go to a farmer's market?
So I guess we figured farmer's market because I think that it has a somewhat low barrier to entry, like compared to like a brick and mortar. It's pretty costly. And then
were any of your friends involved in food businesses that had that like awareness, or was that something that just it dawned on you that was the way? Because a lot of businesses that want to start up, they want to do brick and mortar, or they want to have whatever. So I'm just curious how, not coming from a food background, how you got to that point.
I think for us, none of us really came from a strong food background. So like, I think going to farmers markets, seeing food vendors there, we're like, oh, I think this is something that we could do. Like, I think it's on a scale that is manageable for us.
So you were foodie enough to go to farmers markets. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sorry. Not giving you enough credit there. Yeah, because it's a great place to sort of try something out.
Right, exactly, yeah.
So when you're making the dumplings for market, how many dumplings do you have to make for a market day?
Usually we do about 1,000. And of course we always sell out, so probably should do more. But
that is bonkers.
Yeah. It's a good amount.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, but I think we worked out a system, and there's a couple. So last year there were 4 of us doing it, and I'll get assembly line. I would fill the wrappers and then pass them along, and I could get it done in about 3.5 hours.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you have a team.
Yeah, we have a little team of us. Yeah.
Wow.
I definitely could not do it by myself.
So they're not frozen.
We do freeze them.
Okay.
Because we have to make them in advance, and then we freeze them, and then we take them to the market. But they're made the same week.
Like just transporting like not frozen dumplings would be tricky. So.
Right. They would stick together, and
it would be a mess. I take it all back.
Yeah, we go through, I would say probably like 10-15 gallons a market. So
1,000 dumplings and 15 gallons of stock.
At least, maybe.
Of broth.
Yeah. I think because we usually go through about 4 or 5 of those like 5-gallon water drums, so it is quite a production.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're keeping it simple though. That's awesome. Do you have you must have a commercial kitchen that you work out of?
Yeah.
Where do you make your dumplings?
Yeah, so we rent a church kitchen, and so
Love the church kitchen.
Yeah, I love the church kitchens. Yeah.
Do you want to give a shout out to anybody who's helped you out along the way?
I mean, so we're going out of Eastminster, just down the road there. They're really kind to us, letting us rent their kitchen. And then I think the people, just the city folks that run the farmers market, they've been really helpful with the whole like permitting process. We definitely came in, had no clue, what XYZ you need, and so they've been really helpful along those lines.
Like with the county food safety and all that stuff. Yeah, that's good.
So it's
good to know the farmers markets are doing their job. That's excellent.
Lots of hoops to jump through. Lots of hoops. But it's for a good cause.
Yeah, we don't have a street food culture here.
Right.
So it's a little more tricky. Yeah. So how do your parents feel about you having a food business?
I think they think it's interesting. Yeah. I think they don't quite understand it, but yeah.
What do your parents do?
So my dad's a professor, and my mom does IT for a hospital.
Okay, so they're in the technology generation already.
Right, exactly.
So they're just like, what the hell?
Yeah, why food? Yeah, and they're not quite as much of like a foodie as I would be. Yeah, I am. So, yeah, I'm not really sure where that came from because it's not. I don't think it's from either of them.
So you're a self-proclaimed foodie.
I wouldn't say self-proclaimed. I think other people put that label on me.
All right. So what classifies you, or
I guess I just
what qualifies you as a foodie?
I guess I just enjoy eating. I enjoy trying new foods, having new experiences, and I think that's usually what people label foodies as. So
it's true.
Yeah.
So what are some of your favorite places around town?
Favorite places around town these days. I love Pusidi's Garden. Also a really big fan of 98K Hamburger in
Where's
Squirrel Hill.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they do.
I know that place. I kept looking at it being like, what do they do?
Yeah, they do.
I mean, it says hamburgers. Gotcha. But it's still like...
Well, I actually never gotten a hamburger there. Yeah, they do really good chicken burgers. It almost tastes like McDonald's, but if it was done with like real chicken.
I'm gonna have to try it now on that recommendation. Yeah, I've seen that a bunch of times because we're over in Squirrel Hill all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah. I think those are the two places that I'm like really into right now. I think I go through phases.
Yeah, Pusidi's is amazing.
Yeah.
So tell me more about your academic studies and what you're looking at, because this podcast is it's about food.
Yeah.
Because that's relatable and everybody eats, but
right.
also about sustainability and about how we interact with the world and how we can interact better.
Mm-hmm. So I work on instruments to measure sub-3 nanometer particles in the atmosphere. And so these are particles that are just like really freshly formed from gas molecules that essentially just spontaneously collide. And why these particles are so interesting to us is because these newly formed particles, they can go on to grow to larger particles that eventually help seed cloud droplets. And it accounts for actually 50% of how cloud droplets are formed. And so it's by getting a better understanding about how these particles are formed, how often they form, where they're formed, we can more accurately model the climate and how it's going to change in the future.
So when you say cloud droplets, do you mean rain?
In a sense, yeah. Just cloud droplets, when they grow to a certain size, then they fall and become rain.
Okay.
Yeah.
So pre-rain cloud droplets.
Yeah.
Do you know what your topic of your PhD is going to be?
I mean, so it's pretty much that, just looking at concentrations and size distribution. So basically how, looking at a distribution of the size of these particles over time. So
it's observational?
Yeah, it's like a little half and half. So I think the first half was a lot more instrument development. And now what I'm working on is observational and trying to interpret some of the field measurements we've taken.
And that could eventually help us to understand what?
So it could help us eventually understand essentially how, it's kind of a long train, but how many of these particles there are. So then someone later can go model the climate, and we'll use this information to improve a climate model. Then we can use that climate model to better predict like how much the planet will warm in the future if we change X, Y, Z.
So it is pivotal to helping to understand and potentially solve climate change.
Yeah.
And how do dumplings fit in here? How do wontons how do wontons fit in here?
You see that I'm not sure.
You will make that connection.
Yeah, one day there'll be a connection. I'll just have to hope for that day to come along.
So I always ask people, what's next?
Yeah, I guess I'm not sure. For me, I think part of the Wontons was always seeing how much I like doing this. And I guess right now we don't have any firm plans because all of us doing it, we're all in PhDs, we're all approaching our final years. And so afterwards we might go separate ways. And so I guess in short, we don't have anything planned for now, but maybe in the hopefully not so distant future, maybe one day I'd open up a little like wonton, a little wonton shop or a little like coffee shop that also serves wontons in the morning. Yeah.
I'm just thinking you have like 4 of you. So this is just a way for you guys to like just take a pause and focus on something else besides the intense academic stuff you're working on.
Yeah, in a way, yeah. And just kind of explore different options for what to do afterwards. Yeah.
That's cool. I love this as a little middle step, and I'm so grateful that you're bringing wontons to the market.
Yeah.
And I look forward to it this fall. Tell people where they can find you.
Yeah, so we're at the Squirrel Hill Farmers Market. We're there from, I guess it goes from 9 to 1 every Sunday, and we'll be there between September 1st up until Thanksgiving.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Do you have an online presence?
Yeah, so
Instagram?
We're on Instagram, Cup of Wontons, and then we're also at cupofwontons.com. It's a pretty simple website, but we'll update it with more pictures and whatnot as we go along. Yeah.
Do you sell like orders if people call you and go on your website? Can they order your wontons?
I guess we haven't done it yet, but
okay.
We're open. We're open to the possibility. So yeah, just reach out to us.
Order 500 wontons. I'm just kidding. You have to make 3,000 wontons overnight. You're like, we can do it. We can do it. All right. Well, Darren, thank you so much for being on my podcast.
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
I really enjoyed getting to know you, and
likewise.
Yeah. I'm really glad you're here.
Thank you.
Everyone knows that food is cool. No secret. Eat that food with a bowl and spoon. Everyone knows that food is cool. No secret. Eat that food with a bowl and spoon.
With Bowl and Spoon is written, produced and hosted by Shelley Danko Day. Original theme song was written and performed by Paul LeBreeze and Friends. You can listen to With Bowl and Spoon wherever you get your podcasts. Don't forget to subscribe, like, review and share. Follow us and send us questions or messages on Facebook and Instagram at With Bowl and Spoon. Thanks for listening.
It's food.